7 days with Lisa Hayes. With the price she pays, you'll be amazed. She's a national.
Can I sell my house without the deeds? So, you want to sell your house, but there's one stumbling block: you don't have the deeds. If this is the case, it's likely you're wondering if you'll be able to proceed with the sale. We have dedicated this video to answering the question, can I sell a house without the deeds? Can I sell a house without the deeds? Yes. It's possible to dispose of your house even if you don't have the deeds. However, you must provide sufficient proof of ownership through alternative means. What are deeds? Deeds are the legal documents bearing important details on the history of ownership of your property or land. Titles expressly state if the property is leasehold or freehold, legal ownership, and the boundaries. As such, proving ownership of a property without deeds can be a hurdle, but possible. Deeds may also bear important information such as leases, charges against the house from the mortgage lender, conveyances, wills, or contracts for sale. The HM Land Registry registers the digital copies of your original deed before they're given back to the conveyancer or solicitor representing the buyer. Why are title deeds important? You might have already guessed it, title deeds are extremely important when it comes to proving you're the true owner of the property. They're seen as a critical final word when it comes to settling a legal battle. Deeds also show who it is that has access rights as well as who has financial interest or charge in property. Even then, it's important to point out that title deeds will rarely be used where property boundaries aren't marked clearly. What are the two types of deeds? A. Absolute title. B. Possessory title. This is also referred to as a qualified title. It's given when you lose original deeds and it's impossible to prove absolute title. Selling a house without the deeds, property registration. The first question you must ask yourself is whether your property is registered or not. When the property you want to sell is registered, lost titles will not be a reason for you to worry. You see, the Land Registry holds all vital official copies of the documents you require to sell your property. In the case where a property isn't registered, you'll have to furnish the buyer with the deeds, this being part of official transfer of the property ownership. Title deeds are critical for potential buyers as they show critical information that may affect their interest in buying the property, like applicable wills, mortgages, covenants, easements, leases, and more. In the case where you're missing your title deeds, you must consider reconstitution at the HM Land Registry. This is simply the process of creating new title deeds showing you are the owner. This can take some time, hence isn't the best option if you want to sell your property fast. You can still sell your house even if you lost the title deeds. All you must do is follow the steps to reconstruct the title. What is the HM Land Registry? The HM Land Registry is the entity responsible for safeguarding property and land ownership. Even then, they don't hold your original deeds. What they do is register the deeds of registered properties and hand them back to the person applying for registration or the solicitor. The HM Land Registry mainly covers Wales and England except for Scotland. How to register property with HM Land Registry? It's highly likely that the Land Register already has a record of your property. Even then, if your property isn't registered, you have the responsibility to do so when you assume ownership. The good thing about it is that you can initiate the process online. All you have to do is complete FR1 form and provide all important details that include title deeds. The fee you pay for first registry will vary between £60 for properties worth £100,000 and £140 for properties worth £200,000. If you own a home, you'll do well to make sure you register the property with the Land Registry. This is not only beneficial in keeping your title deed information safe but also ensures it's easy to access and amend them whenever circumstances change. Ultimately, it also helps to speed up the house sale process. What is the cost of a copy of title deeds? If you need a copy of your title register or title plan for informational reasons, you can be sure to obtain them for as little as £3 per copy. However, If you need them for legal reasons, then you'll have to pay £7 per copy to the HM Land Registry to obtain the official copies and send off a Form OC1. Removing your mortgage lender from your title deeds. When you have fully repaid your mortgage, your lender will furnish the Land Registry with that information. If you haven't finished paying, then consider applying for their removal. For this, you'll have to complete Form AP1. Do you need title deeds to sell your house? For you to sell your house, you must show proof of ownership. This means you must have your original deeds or proof of digitized copies with your name at the HM Land Registry. Complications arise where you're selling a property that isn't registered. The only thickens when you're selling on behalf of someone else. How to sell a house without title deeds. If you have never had the titles for your property, consider contacting the person who acted on your behalf so they can return them to you. It's common to find that the person who sold the house is still in possession of the deeds. There isn't any legal requirement for the seller to give you the deeds. Even then, most conveyancers or solicitors acting on behalf of the buyer will obtain the deeds for you being part of their service. When you contact the HM Land Registry, they can tell you if they have records of your property or not. You won't need to have paper copies for properties that are registered. However, if your house is not registered, then you must submit the original deeds for it to be registered in the HM Land Registry systems. This is why it is important to have the originals. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure to check out the blog post version for a lot more information.
If you're trying to sell but it's not going well, if you can't get a sale and the estate agent fell, now is the time for you to jump and praise. Selling Days with Lisa Hayes. With the price she pays, you'll be amazed. She's a national cash buyer and she'll pay you much higher today.